Hi guys on YouTube, it's Matty17 back again. So today I've got for you something a little bit special. It's a Hoover Zodiac 12. It's an Australian made front loader. It is pretty unique in that if you look straight away you can see that there's no detergent drawer. So these didn't have any kind of dispenser drawer at all. There's nothing on top. It was simply pour the powder in before the washing goes in, or in the middle of the washing, or whatever, and select your cycle and away you go. The model is the 520, so that denotes that it's a non-heater model. These did come in heater models where there would have been a period of time on the dial where it would have heated to 40 or 60, depending on what cycle you selected. But this is just a 520, so it's a non-heated model. So what that means is that whatever cycle you select has different temperatures attached to it. So looking at the programs, you've got this switch in the middle that is either normal or gentle. So that changes the action and the spin time for the cycle. The action for normal is quite intensive. It's very long tumbles. For almost, I think it is for an entire click of the dial, and then it pauses for an entire click of the dial, and then it tumbles for an entire click of the dial. So it's pretty intensive. So cycles, you've got a super wash, which is hot, a whites and colours wash, which is hot, a non-colour fast wash, which is warm, and a cold wash, which is obviously cold. You've got a whites wash, which I believe is hot, and a delicates and washable woolens, which permanent press, that is for PP, and that is a warm wash. Number 6 is your pre-wash or rinse, and number 7 is your spin. On top of the door here, there's another sticker for your additional programs. So if you wanted a short whites and colours wash, if you wanted the crease guard, this is the crease guard, by the way. Basically spin or hold. So when it's due to spin, if that's on hold, then this button lights up a bright orange, and then you just flip it over to spin and it carries on. So I think that's just telling you when you can select that for what reason. It tells you there that 7 is long spin, and if you select gentle, then it will do a short spin. Yeah, so it's got this little cycle in progress light there, which doesn't actually work on this model, unfortunately. The rinse hold light does, but the cycle in progress light doesn't. I've had a fiddle around with it, but I can't get it to work. Probably needs the new bulb. So you can see here the timer dial. So I can't remember the model, the equivalent model in the UK. Somebody will enlighten me, I'm sure. But it's very similar to that. It's like one of the first Hoover front loaders where it just had like an A and B instead of the normal and gentle, and that selected the action, and then you had this dial which was pretty much the same setup. So the spin is in the same place. Final rinse is number 6, or the pre-wash, and it tells you where it's starting the rinses. And then you've got the longest wash all the way through to 5, which is the shortest wash. So this machine needed a new door seal. It was completely destroyed when I picked it up. So I luckily managed to source one and popped it on. It still has a leak though, so I'm not quite sure where this leak is coming from. I'm going to investigate it further, but for now I just want to get a video uploaded because I've waited a long time to get this machine fixed, so I will just be keen to get a video up. Just going to do some white towels. They're just shop rags, nothing too exciting. So yeah, let me get loaded up and then I'll put some soap in and away we go. Another interesting thing about this machine is that it's actually on wheels, and I can't quite get it level. So this might be a bit of a rocking and rolling wash, but we'll see. But for now I'm just going to add in some washing powder, just into the bottom of the drum there, along with a tiny bit of washing soda. up it, why not? It's easier. Okay, I'm coming down. Alright, I'm down. Alright, so that's the load in. We're just going to do a white wash for this. So basically we just push, you have to push it in. Oops, it's quite hard to push in actually. And then just switch it across to 3 and pull it out. And that is a hot wash. With no dispenser drawer, the water just goes straight into the side of the drum up the top here. There's a pipe that is fitted to the outer drum that goes straight from the solenoids. Powder's gently falling into the water. Yes, come on in, Charlie, come on in. I'll nudge his way in a minute. Oops, hello. Yep. This is an induction motor machine and it's only got a 500 RPM spin. Right, so it's on one of the pause sections of the dial, so in a minute it'll click across and start to wash. But the time is ticking away there, quite happily. Made in Australia. Top off, so you can see it's got a really deep water level. So it just ticks away happily through the wash, just pops on and off the tumble until it gets to the rinses. So there's 5 rinses, so it does 4 static. It does 4 deep rinses with drains in between, and then it'll do an interim spin before it gets to the final rinse or pre-wash, that bit there. Before it gets to number 6, it does a spin basically. And then it obviously goes on to the final spin, which is 500 RPM. It's not a dual spin model, so it doesn't have an 800 RPM spin, it's just got a 500 RPM spin. And there are other models. I believe Hooverlux has a video of one that's made it to the UK somehow. I believe it's in Rob Stubbs's collection. And that has a non-induction motor, it has a brushed motor, and it has a 800 RPM spin, I believe. So it's an older model than this one as well. This is one of the last Zodiacs they made before they moved on to the Electras and the Electra Economisers. So yeah, pretty cool. Off. Oh, we're into immediate reverses now. Okay, there you go. I've learned something new. So in the sort of half, I'll say 3/4 of the way through the wash, it goes back into sort of normal back and forth tumbles as opposed to wash, soak, tumbles. So there you go. It's got a dual wash action. coming up to the rinses now. I'm not quite sure which click it goes into rinses, whether it's just before or just on the rinses. It's a very splashy tub wash action. Yeah. Still not draining. I think the timer is a little bit out of line on this one, unfortunately. Like when it actually hits the off position where it lands is not on the off position, it's more towards the 1. So I think it might be a little bit out, but I will have a tinker with it when I get it back inside the workshop. Next click should be drained though. Yep. There you go. During the drain it just does one continuous tumble. Obviously on this course, if you wanted to add softener, you would have to wait until it gets to the number 6 and let it fill a little bit and then tip some softener in yourself. But it fills quite quickly, so you'd have to be watching it and stop the dial so that the door will open. First rinse. It's quite a quiet filler with it not having to go through a drawer. So it seems to be during the fill that this leak happens as well. It's not really while it's static, so might be a leaky pipe from the solenoid. See, now it's tumbling in the reverse direction. Second rings. Short tumbles on this one. This is the fourth rinse. Should be an interspin after this one. Keeps going in the same direction. It's weird. It's doing what it wants, really. So I'm making it up as it goes along. Should be a spin. This is where I anticipate it'll try and kill me by rolling across the floor at me. So I've got one foot there just to help it. But go. So it's only a short spin, but yeah. So this would be the point now where you would stop it and add some softener, if you so desired. The final rinse is a bit longer than the other rinses as well. Does like to sit and wait on this one. Keep us all guessing. To say that it's only done one short spin, the rinses are quite clear. final spin. So as you can see, we're sort of like one step out from the dial. It's alright, Dexter. Dexter. I was wondering what that is. It's gonna go in a minute. Itself fairly stable. Overshot the off mark, so it sort of hits the one before it slows down. Sorry. Dogs. Can't beat them. Alright, well there you go. I'm really glad I got to film it. I'm really glad I managed to get it fixed mostly, but I'll keep tinkering around with it and see what else I can do. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.